folk guitar, and we'll all do a hootenanny thing. So now we have the fun time of the show, where we do this. I have another guest, a sports host, but I was having so much fun with you. We'll make him wait till next week.
Make it wait.
Stritto talking about movies.
Frank Stritto, say hello to Karen and Dave.
Karen and Dave, how you doing?
Hi, how are you?
What's our movie for next week?
Movie for next week is Quicksand, 1950, Mickey Rooney. And Joe, we're getting back to your favorite genre. It's film noir.
Didn't we already review this?
We did review it, but we never have enough time to talk about movies, so I don't mind doing it again.
Thank you.
Okay. Let's see. In the movies we've showed, two themes seem to emerge. One is the struggle that some actors had when sound came in, going from silence to sound. Last week's movie, Phantom of the Opera, within 10 years, everybody that had been in that movie was basically out of the business.
Yeah.
And Cheney died, of course, but for the rest of them, the transition to sound was brutal. And here we have the post-war change. This is 1950, and the movie-going attitudes and movie attendance changed abruptly with the end of World War II. And people have basically had to find new lines of work. And the star of tonight's film, Mickey Rooney, was during the war years like the #1 star in the world, one of the highest-paid stars in Hollywood. And now, 5 years later, he's done with the major studios. He'll never really have a major film. He'll never have a starring role in a major studio film again. But he's making independence, and this, a lot of people consider this his best performance. He's an underrated actor. He could really do some gritty stuff, and he does that in this movie. This is film noir. In film noir, the hero is always under the gun. The hero is getting deeper and deeper and over his head. And that's where the title Quicksand comes from. And Rooney is quite good in it, and he's matched all the way by the femme fatale Jimmy Cagney's sister, who usually gets kind of bright and bubbly roles, playing Jimmy Cagney's kid sister type roles. But when she was given something with meat, she could really sink her teeth into it, and she is really a femme fatale in this movie. Rooney, last we heard, Rooney's still with us. He's 93 now. And trivial question, he is the last leading man of the 1930s left. Who's the last leading lady of the 1930s left?
Zsa Zsa Gabor.
Close. Shirley Temple.
Okay.
Okay.
That was a good guess.
Not a bad. I'm not knocking it. and Mickey Rooney is struck out on his own, and he's been a star, and he's grasping to hold on to a career. He's trying to build a new career. He invests in this movie. I understand Peter Lorre, who's got third billing in the movie, and not that big a role, invests in it. And last we heard, Mickey Rooney will not talk about this movie because he thinks his other investors basically stole the money from him. And he never made a dime on this movie. I understand, and of course, until you see the contracts, you don't know what to believe of what gets out in his publicity. But Rooney and Lorre didn't take any salary. They took shares in the production. They were co-owners of the production. They never got a dime for it.
Okay, so who was the guy who did Night of the Living Dead? George Romero?
George Romero.
All right, so why didn't Mickey Rooney 20 years ago take the copyright, do a deluxe box, do his narrative over it, blah, blah, blah?
I'll leave that to others to figure out what that has to do with George Romero.
Well, George Romero did that because of the Night of the Living Dead copyright.
I know legally who owned the copyright. I have no idea of this movie.
Well,
just because you're an investor might give you a claim to a copyright, but I'd have to see that, somebody who knows about such things would have to see the contracts to see who can claim the copyright, and that's why you're showing it, Joe. It's in the public domain.
Well, that's my point. My point is this. George Romero lost the copyright to Night of the Living Dead. Everyone and his brother has a copy. Yeah. I can run it on my next movie. But Romero colorized it and then put a box together with the booklet, I guess, and all that. Why doesn't Mickey Rooney pull a George Romero? I should have been more specific, sorry. And take this public domain piece and do a commentary. And then go after all the people that ripped him off.
Let's see. Well, first of all, I'm pretty sure all the people that ripped him off are dead now.
That's why he can go after them.
But Quicksand was not, I don't know how much money it made, but it was not the phenomenal success that Night of the Living Dead were. And I don't think it has an afterlife the way Night of the Living Dead does. So why doesn't Mickey Rooney do it? He probably has better things to do at age 93
Well, he could take 5 Mickey Rooney movies and put them out in a package.
Okay. Joe.
I'm trying to help Mickey.
No, I don't know, Joe. I don't know.
I'm going to help Mickey Bliss. Forget Mickey Rooney.
Okay. You're closer to these big names than I am. You ask him.
I don't think so.
Let's see. Mickey Rooney's in it. Gene Cagney's in it. Peter Lorre is in it. He's 46. Again, he's not in it enough. He's quite good in what he is. Who's taller, Mickey Rooney or Peter Lorre?
Mickey Rooney was in Black
Peter
Beauty.
Lorre.
Karen says Peter.
No.
Okay, well, I
Mickey
watched
Rooney.
the movie, Joe. Peter Lorre is about when they go face to face, and they actually exchange blows in this movie. But when they first meet each other, they are both standing straight, and Peter Lorre is about an inch taller. And
I was right.
I was surprised by that.
What?
Mickey Rooney, I don't think ever got above 5'3", which is why when he got too old for the boy parts, it was hard for him to find something new because he was not leading man material in that sense. And of course, Peter Lorre was infamous for being short. That was part of his persona. Let's see. I'm looking on the computer. It says Mickey Rooney was 5'2". Okay, so that may have been. And I'll look up Peter Lorre as we talk. And let's see. The tragic person in this movie is an actress called Barbara Bates, who had a short career. She had problems with chronic depression. She eventually commits suicide at age 47. She's 25 when she makes this movie.
Was that after she gave birth to Norman?
Maybe the TV series that just ended is about her, but I don't know of any relation. But Barbara Bates probably has the most. This movie was made in 1950. Barbara Bates probably has the most famous movie in any 1950 film, and that is All About Eve. At the very end, after Eve basically cheats Betty Davis, the character played by Betty Davis is cheated out of her part by the pirate. The character played by Anne Baxter. And then at the very end, we see that the tables are being turned on Anne Baxter. She is being cheated and turned by another young actress who's only on screen for a minute, and that is Barbara Bates. So whatever problem she had, and she had a short career because basically after a while she couldn't work because of her depression problems. She did get the most famous moment in 1950 cinema.
All right. Well, Frank, thank you so much for your insight.
Okay, we're out of time, I guess, huh?
Yeah, and Kathy Bates says hi, according to Dave.
Okay, very.
Kathy Bates, Stephen King, all that. Hey, have a great night.
Okay, it says Peter Lorre's 5'5". I don't believe it. Talk to you next week.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Iggy Pop is 5'5".
No, he's not. He's got a song. Hey, thanks for being on the show.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it.
This is Karen DiBiase on Visual Radio.
Thank you.
Say that.
I'm Karen DiBiase on Visual Radio.
You're Dave Simons.
I am.
I know it's
Dave
I
Simmons.
just did the
on
trick.
Visual Radio.
Hey, it's thanks Jeff Dearman, thanks Judy Kellerman, thanks WinCam, thank you Somerville Cable
Thank you.
Access TV, Scat, and Malden, Melrose, everyone out there in Woburn, and have fun, Stoneham. Good night.